Welcome to Anything You Want. If you enjoy careful investigation of celebrity moments that ripple beyond red carpets, please subscribe, smash the like button, and if you want to support our work directly, hit the join button to become a member. Your comments and perspectives shape every follow-up we publish. In a city that long ago learned to both cradle and devour glamour, an otherwise private reception in London became the scene of a quietly combustible tableau when Turkish actress Demet Özdemir arrived wearing a luminous white gown and later shared a deliberately opaque message that set the rumor mill spinning. Observers at the event and spectators who later scrutinized the frames circulating on social feeds felt, almost instantaneously, as though they had witnessed the opening of a new chapter in a life that has often been played out under public scrutiny. The garment she chose, immaculate, flowing, and unmistakably bridal in its ceremonial whiteness, combined with the slender string of words she offered online, conveyed an intention to reset, whether the subject of that reset be the heart, the career, or both. Photographs from the evening present a dual image. On one side, an actress at ease in an elegant silhouette that reframes her public image. On the other, a companion whose presence was guarded with an evident care that suggested either a nascent intimacy or a very deliberate shield for an otherwise official encounter. Witnesses at the venue noted that Demet, though polite and composed, invested time in keeping the man's face away from direct camera access, a gesture that in contemporary celebrity life has the paradoxical effect of multiplying attention rather than diminishing it. Thus began a twofold speculation, part romantic gossip, part industry whisper, which, within hours, had been exported from London's velvet interiors to the fluorescent immediacy of tabloid headlines. As the online commentary multiplied, voices divided predictably along fan lines and media instincts. A portion of her followers interpreted the visual poetry of her white dress and her terse online phrase as a personal turning point, declarations of emotional renewal, whispers of a private happiness just beginning, and fanciful suggestions that this might signal the first blush of a serious relationship. Others read the same signs through a professional lens, arguing that the symbolic blank slate of white, when coupled with the actress's presence in London, a global hub for co-productions and streaming executives, more convincingly points to negotiations that could expand her career beyond the Turkish market. Each reading is plausible, both can be true at once, yet the stakes feel different depending on which narrative one wishes to believe. Observers could not help but consider the figure of Can Yaman, whose name has been entwined with Demet's public narrative across seasons of rumor and reportage. The question of how Yaman and his family might react, or whether they will react at all, has been a persistent subtext to every fresh rumor. To date, there has been no formal rejoinder from Yaman, his relatives, or his representatives. That absence of comment, in the modern ecology of celebrity, functions as a signal in itself, leaving tabloids and social platforms to fill the silence with their own conjectural scripts. Some columns predict continued discretion, while others anticipate a reactive statement. Whatever transpires, the dynamic between silence and speech will shape the next chapter of public perception. Social platforms, however, offered their own theater. Under the rapidly proliferating frames from London, comments ranged from effusive support to conspiratorial curiosity. Some users posted effusive congratulations and liberating metaphors about second chances. Others proposed that the images were a deliberate signal aimed at rivals or former partners. A third cohort sought concrete confirmation, demanding names and denials in equal measure. The resulting comment threads were a microcosm of modern celebrity culture, simultaneous sanctuary and battlefield, where empathy, envy, and skepticism cohabit in unsteady equilibrium. At this point, the actress's followers are not merely observers but active interpreters, each comment a fragment of collective meaning-making. If the darker-haired man photographed beside Demet is indeed a representative of an international production company, the implications extend far beyond a single evening's gossip. For an actress of her caliber, a move into projects with cross-border reach would alter not only her professional trajectory but also the kinds of narratives in which she is permitted to take part, roles that demand linguistic flexibility, cinematic exposure to different directing sensibilities, and the navigation of contracts and promotional commitments at a scale that would reorient her public persona. In such a context, the phrase she used in her post might read as a deliberate preparatory statement, a soft launch of a new era in which previous limitations are replaced by the demands of a broader audience. Speculative threads also extend to the performative aspects of image-making. The posture she adopted, the measured cadence of her smiles, and her intermittent attempts to divert cameras away from her guest, each detail can be read as artifact and as tactic. Experienced publicists know how to choreograph ambiguity so that it yields sustained attention without obligating a definitive narrative. In this calculus, mystery functions as both protective smoke and promotional tinder. It is possible, then, that what appears as coy discretion is in fact a deft management of public appetite, calibrated to keep fans and producers equally intrigued. Before we conclude, a reminder from your team at Anything You Want. If you've been following this narrative and want more nuanced coverage, including verified sourcing, chronology of events, and expert commentary on industry dynamics, consider becoming a channel member by clicking Join. Members receive priority briefings and have a say in which stories we pursue next. Also, leave your opinion below. Do you want us to follow up with a deep investigative piece about the alleged production deal, or a human interest feature focused on Demet's personal journey? Tell us which you prefer. In the confluence of fashion, gesture, and social media, the London Evening fashioned an image both indelible and deliberately ambiguous, a public figure cloaked in white, promising a beginning of some kind, escorted by an individual whose identity was shielded with intention. The multiplicity of plausible interpretations ensures that the episode will not fade quickly, rather, it will persist as a hinge upon which subsequent revelations, denials, or confirmations will turn. What matters, for Demet, for the press, and for her audience, is how the next moves are staged and what she herself elects to disclose. To close, what began as a guarded reception in a London salon has become a nucleus for stories about love, reinvention, and ambition. Whether the man at her side will be named as a collaborator, an intimate, or remain anonymous forever is a question that will be answered in time. For now, the balance between privacy and publicity teeters on the slender hinge of a single caption and a white dress. Share your verdict in the comments section below. Subscribe to Anything You Want if you haven't already. Click Join to support independent coverage. And remember to like and share this video if you want us to keep following Demet's unfolding story. We will continue to monitor developments closely and deliver new information as it becomes available. For now, the only certain thing is uncertainty itself, a state that, for celebrities and observers alike, often precedes a transformation.